Can you repeat that? I forgot.
Okay. Okay. I'll say it. I'll say
Okay,
it. Small word. It will do trick. Okay. We ready?
okay.
All right. Orkinrad no go. We get rid of that very fast. Okay. But try gloves. Big go. Okay. Black Star massive huge upgrade. Big V. Big V turn to W. Okay? That's what we want. Steven, are you single?
What is that?
People want.
Yeah,
It's
people
what the
want to
people.
know.
I am.
Blue, is that the same shirt?
No! I didn't know it's not the same shirt. I've been wearing different shirts every day.
Hello, guys! For today's podcast, we have invited Blue Squadron, Arthur and Real Stephen H. So to talk about the probably most discussed topic in BDO, which is DR versus evasion gear. Yeah. So introduce introduce yourself, please.
Excellent job, Annie. I guess I'll go first. I'm Blue Squadron. I play on NA. I have a big YouTube and love streaming the game almost every day on Twitch. So I've been shotgunning the game for about 3 years now in various different siege guilds and things like this. So excited to be here.
After this, I play BDO. I stream a bit of BDO. I prefer to watch rather than do anything else. But thank you for having me.
Good intro, buddy. How long have you been playing the game, Arteris?
I think just about 5 years.
Okay, and you play on
Oh, wow.
SCA, right?
Yep.
Okay, I've been playing for 7 years on NA. Okay, Steven?
Okay. My name is Real Stephen H. I'm a PvP enthusiast player from CA, but I probably the least experienced from the people here because I only play for like 3 years. Black Desert. I play it from 2020, I think. Yeah.
Okay, a brief introduction about myself. My name is Annie, and I'm a potato streamer. I'm a casual streamer, and I play in BDOC. So it's been about 4 years since I played the game. Yeah, but I'm probably the least knowledgeable amongst you guys because I'm a casual player. So okay, BDO is a very, very interesting game, as all of us know. We love BDO so much, where like the players are given the freedom to choose whatever gear they want to use, whether in PvP or PvE. So there are like people with Pepega gears like me. So there's just too many gears for us to choose from. But I honestly think that the endgame gear is basically evasion. Like, we need to have at least 1.3k evasion to be hard cap. But that's just what I think. But what are your thoughts though on like this certain
Well, are we talking about PvE or PvP?
PV, like both? Like, what do you think?
I think the DR is strictly better late game for PvE, except in very specific spots, like Ash Forest, for example, is more of an evasion spot. But most end game spots in the game are going to be run better with DR for 2 reasons. One, you have more accuracy, just to do more damage, because those high end spots tend to miss a lot, and so having like 25 to 50 more accuracy can help you in that DR build. But 2, you just end up being a little bit more tanky with the DR, I feel like, than evasion, because they keep giving these high end mobs like a lot of accuracy. So I don't know how everybody else feels about PvE specifically.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think generally DR is better for PvE because most of the high-end mobs basically have enough accuracy to melt your evasion anyway. And since we're using evasion build, but obviously we're not gonna put evasion crystals when grinding, right? So compared to DR, when they can use all offensive crystals and still can tank some damage from the mobs, you know.
Others?
Yeah. Same, because like I mean everybody been there ever since like the release of the new Dekia spot and the new region. Everybody has tried, like, okay, maybe not everybody have tried, but all of the higher end gear player have tried grinding over there with evasion, and we can really feel the difference between evasion and DR. Evasion just melts too fast.
But like, okay, as Blue said, Ash Forest you probably need evasion gear, but why though? is it because like the the mobs doesn't have much accuracy or what?
Yeah, that seems to be what it primarily is. Is that Ash Forest was a spot, was an end game spot, but it was designed like two and a half years ago, something like that. And this was kind of before they started adding a lot of accuracy to mobs. So like back then, it's it's Mystic and Striker are amazing there. I know Witch does better with evasion there as well. Shy does really well there, or at least reasonably well there. Lon does really well there as well with her evasion. But then as you get into like these new the Southern Medaya spots, DR is strictly going to be better. It's not like evasion is necessarily unplayable, but you'll probably feel better with DR.
Then what about PvP? Like which one is more superior, or like both of them are about the same?
Okay, PvP is kind of subjective in my opinion. Okay, the most boring answer would be like if your class have evasion passive, then evasion would be better. However, recently, like since the Line of the Morning Lights came out, right? How to say, especially since CA merged with Thai, when I do PvP in open world, right, all the high-end gear player have like defensive setup. So if I'm evasion player right now, right, I just switch to evasion during the Land of the Morning Lights. And if I'm doing I'm PvPing against the high-end gear evasion also, we cannot kill each other unless we do e-buff. So that's kind of boring for me. That's why I'm gonna switch. I kind of wanted to switch back to DR when Atorchis came out.
I see.
Oh yeah, and one thing about evasion is, the good thing about evasion, you literally immune against gearlets. Like, even if they have accuracy sub weapon, you still have enough BR to tank the damage. Basically, yeah, you're unkillable.
But like being using evasion, but you lose out on AP and accuracy. Like how do you kill though?
Yeah, exactly. We need to be like selective at killing people.
So like you have okay, like people like Ataris, you have like different kinds of like accessories and stuff. Yes, it's not very practical, but like do you use that to counter people that you fight against?
Yeah, my build is actually a hybrid, evasion accuracy hybrid, but I cannot kill an evasion like Archers. When I meet Archers in RBF, I just skip. Like it doesn't matter how many times I combo him, his health's gonna regen faster than I. Yeah.
Ataris, what do you think?
I think the whole DR and evasion, which is better, has been going for quite long. I guess at the end of the day, it really depends on like the class passive and the amount of accuracy buff, evasion shred you have. Like example, like how do I put it? Like I fully agree what Steven said. If mostly whenever if your class have an evasion passive, or if you have a high base evasion, which is like Sage, Wizard, I think to a certain point Lan, you can kind of play both. But the classes that have evasion passive is most probably gonna benefit most with evasion. Something like Mystic, Striker, Ninja, Kuno. It is also quite like based on what Steven said, like depends on like sometimes when you try to kill someone you don't have enough like accuracy, sometimes you don't have enough AP. It also really depends on the class, like how many self buff you have. You have a lot of AP buff, if you have a lot of like self accuracy buff. Like one example for like example Suck Ninja, right? You have Heartbleed, which literally or for succession, right? You have literally Heartbleed, which give you a 15% accuracy buff for 3 seconds. That's really fair and balanced. And they don't exactly need that high accuracy if you're playing a Suck Ninja. So not a lot of Suck Ninja runs like accuracy accessories or anything because they can rely on Heartbleed. And a lot of other classes have like different perks. Some gives a lot of AP, some gives a lot of accuracy, some gives a lot of evasion shred like Sage, Succession Sage. So it really depends on like the class and what kind of gear you're fighting against. It's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors, but you're playing in 4D.
So like there are some people who say like you said, evasion with evasion passive. Evasion gear works for classes with evasion passive. But do you think like DR works too though for like classes like Mystic, Strikers? Do you think DR actually works for them too? Or like
It does.
It does. Oh.
It does. Well, so like I mean, to answer the first question, DR versus evasion is entirely going to be based on class, especially into the late game. For capped PvP specifically, it will be easier for a DR class to hit the caps. If you're building a DR build, evasion builds take a little bit longer to hit those DR caps specifically in like tier 4 node wars, for example. But like once you're at the caps, both classes should perform relatively at the same level. But like in uncapped PvP, yeah, I mean, like it's gonna be very class specific. So like Shy, Corsair, Mystic, Striker, Kuno, Ninja, Meiwa, Musa, those classes are all gonna benefit from evasion versus like DK, Guardian, any of the shield classes, Wusa, etc. are gonna benefit from DR. Like there are a lot of classes in the game that can be played with either. But to answer your question right there, like if Striker and Mystic, for example, were like if you build them with DR, are they still going to be good? Absolutely. If you're just playing them in PvE, if you're playing them in PvP, probably the answer is probably. If you're playing in capped PvP, yeah, you're not going to notice a difference. The only time you're ever going to notice a difference is if you're in uncapped, like end game PvP. Yeah, no, then Mystic and Striker are going to feel kind of unplayable with DR.
It's actually for Ninja. It's kind of preference. Like, not most, but many Ninja player like to do a glass cannon build, even though they're in high end gear, right?
Yeah.
So they pick DR instead of evasion.
Then do you think like hybrid gear kind of work? Like, for example, like the gear that I'm going for is Pendebo, with Pendebo necklace with Pen Centaur to buff to like pump in on my evasion because I'm a Megu. But do you think like it works or do you think it doesn't really work? I'm not
So
really.
you're going for a Pendebo neck with a Centaur belt?
Yeah.
What are your earrings going to be?
Sorry?
What are your earrings going to be?
Pendisto.
And you're playing a Megu?
Yes.
I think you lose too much damage taking the belt away. Megu, are you Succession Megu?
Yeah. But the thing is,
Okay.
Megu has evasion passive.
She does. But you're also a mid-range caster, so you have to take that into effect. You're not just simply... If you were, like, strictly melee, like, maybe that's why I asked. If you're Awakening Megu, maybe I could see it, because you're going to have to trade a lot more damage. But Succession Megu is going to benefit a lot more from just having the damage from, like, a Debo belt, Debo neck, one Debo earring, and then maybe a Dawn earring with it if you want to. But, like, having the extra damage is going to be better just avoiding the damage. I know that's Korean advice, but just avoiding the damage is probably going to be better off on Megu, and just having more DPS from range to pelt them with like Spirited Away and things like this. And Fox Flare are probably going to be better for you. I don't know. That's my opinion. The Centaurs, I think, is just overall going to hurt your damage, and you're not going to feel a whole lot tankier because Megu's evasion passives are not very good. They're like okay. Like yeah, you can build their evasion. You should build their evasion, but like. I don't know if you need to go that hardcore. Like Striker Mystic, okay, yeah, the Centaur kind of makes more sense. Your melee, you have to absorb much more damage, but I don't know, on a mid-range caster, I just don't see it.
Yeah, actually, I would just use the 3 Debo, like, well, 1 Debo neck, 1 Debo belt, and 1 Debo earring, you know?
Is there like an alternative for Debos before, like, say, before you get the Debos? Like, what do you think, like, newer players should use before going for Debo?
Apple shear.
No, okay, put the gun down. No. You should have a Pen Ogre. You should have like a Pen Voltara, and then you should have like a Tet Disto. Okay, and you transition.
Oh yeah.
And then like slowly transition. If like
Yes.
say for a Mystic to, okay, if say for like a DR class they want to change to Mystic, they want to like reroll to Mystic or Striker, they want to like change to a evasion gear, but then they don't really want to change to evasion gear, they just want to use their DR. Like what what AP do you think they need to be able to be tanky and also to be able to kill?
Which grind spot?
No, not grind spot, I mean like for PvP, for like uncapped PvP.
Okay, which class?
For Mystic Striker, like if say like a DR class want to reroll to Mystic or Striker because they want to be tanky and stuff, but like what kind of AP do you think they should reach to be able to kill people but also to tank the damage?
Depends on who you're fighting.
Like
if you're fighting Show Nation, or you're fighting some of the most geared players on the server, you're gonna need like 305 Kudum. But like, if you're fighting like a normal player, you can probably get by with like 281. I'm being honest. Then you can put on the Sissels, you can put on the Centaurs, and you can like get hybrid with it. You know what I mean? And like just basically be invincible.
There are also like counters to evasion and like DR. Like for example, accuracy gear counters evasion. What counters DR?
AP monkeys, basically. You see all those pigeons that stand on the rooftop? Those are our counters.
Yeah, those bastards. Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Having massive EP damage.
Massive.
Yeah. Big AP number, bigger, good. Okay, so like 230, 240 AP, and you're just gonna kill everything in a DR build.
What DR? How many DR do you think is like hard cap?
420 DR is technically the soft cap for DR, but I've never seen anybody get above. I think Raiden gets like 510 or 520 in his DR build. I'm not exactly sure. I could be making that up. But like
the sheet.
Oh, it's like when you open your stats and you check. You check
the total stats. I see.
Soft cap. Yeah, you want to try to get to 420 in both builds, whether you're an evasion build or a DR build. You want to have at least 420 or so DR, and then stack as much evasion as you can, basically beyond that point.
Then like if say I wanna be tanky, like very very tanky as a shy, for example, how many DR or evasion as a shy to be able to tank like all the damages for in uncapped siege or not war and all those?
I think shy. Okay, so the thing is, shy is a very different. How do I put it? It's a very different class from a lot of the other class. Shy mainly prioritize on buffing your team and just banging your drum to grief your enemy. So you don't really expect to do a lot of damage. So most likely you'll always build pure evasion, as much evasion as possible. The reason why is because evasion scales really really well when it's really high. DR is very linear. Even if you have like really high DR, compared to just going pure evasion is just way better if you want to build like a DP build or evasion meme.
So it's basically just stack evasion, but like in order to buff your teammates or whatever, you need to stay alive. So like, but what if like there is people who are like who has a very very high accuracy to counter, like how many evasion do you think it's enough to counter all those like accuracy AP monkey and all those pigeons?
Yeah. If they have 6 accuracy accessories, that's the fun part. You don't. So there's no kind of getting around it. But like, if they only have like 2 or 3 accuracy accessories, I think that you're probably going to need at least 1400 to 1500 evasion to probably get around 2 to 3 accuracy accessories. If they don't have any accuracy accessories, you can probably get by with 1300 to like 1200 to 1300 evasion on a shy and be okay.
Ataris, as a Nova, right, do you think evasion works for Nova?
Oh, I tried that a lot. Not on our server, no. I don't think so. I mean, I guess if you like, we can go back to Steven's point again. If you wear evasion and you are fighting a gearlet, you will still be god. So that works the same for Nova, but it's very different in the late game. In the late game, you don't exactly want to run evasion Nova. I really tried going hard evasion Nova, but I don't see the benefit in it. That's kind of the reason why I run like 2 of them, right? I have both evasion and accuracy.
But if say like you're like you've been playing this game for like 2-3 years only, you don't really have that much money to buy both gears or like to make both kind of like different kind of gears and stuff. Like what do you think it's best suited though for a Nova?
For Nova, just go DR. Like, because the thing is, okay, so the whole point of the DR and evasion is, okay, if you're playing a class that can run evasion, that's where you have to make the tough choice of whether if you want to stay comfortable PvE at the higher end spot, that is where you have to go DR. Or if you want to build a little bit tankier, maybe make a little bit of mistake, be how do I put it? Be a god to gearlets. You can run evasion. So I still think going DR is still the best choice for now, because I guess 99% of the time you'll be doing PvE because you want to gear up. So it's always a better choice to just run DR first. And then maybe in the future when you want to commit more into evasion, that's where you can just buy the scorching, the purposeful and convert it to evasion if that's what you want to do. But yeah, like what Blue said, most class can just run DR when you play when you grind the high spot PvE, like Yulukita and Daycare spots. So I would recommend DR first most of the time.
Yeah. To be clear, Nova should never be built with DR. At no point, if any of us ever saw an evasion Nova, we would point and laugh. You should not be building evasion on Nova for any reason whatsoever. You can. So if you have an evasion class, you can build DR on an evasion class and typically be okay. Especially in PvE, hey, you're gonna be just fine. However, you cannot flip it. You cannot take a DR class and play it with evasion, ever, for the most part. Like even in PvE, are you going to be able to make ends meet? Sure, but it's going to feel like crap. You're not going to be tanky. You're not going to be doing damage. It's just not going to feel very good. So like, there's kind of a double standard there to keep in mind. So if there are players thinking about building one way or the other, or they feel that their class, oh well, it could build either, or I recommend just build DR, because DR, in my opinion, is just stronger in the metagame overall. There are more classes that build with DR, and all evasion classes can be played with DR, unless you're talking about like very specific forms of PvP, like really end game uncapped PvP. Yeah, okay, you're gonna need the evasion, but like if you just built DR and you want to try Mystic and you want to tag a Mystic, that's fine. But if you build evasion and then you want to try tagging a Nova, we're gonna make fun of you.
What about like, is Warrior a DR class?
Yes,
Yeah,
all
is.
shield classes are the DR classes.
But there are like some evasion warriors. Would you laugh at evasion warrior?
Oh yeah, they're stupid too. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the purpose of being evasion on that class is like to wreck gearlets.
Oh, I see.
To wreck gearlets only, like they're not gonna.
No, those are stupid people.
Yeah.
The only reason that stuff like that works is that, oh, I swear it works. Yeah, against the kids with Tuvala gear, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Steven, as an awakened ninja, you have tried both evasion and DR. Which one do you think it's best for ninjas?
Okay. Generally, the best for ninja is of course evasion, but it's not the best for me. I've been DR player since the very start. I played BDO, and then I just changed to evasion since the LOML update, the Land of the Morning Lights, and I don't like it because I have to be selective now at killing people.
Like you said, you have both sets, but Steven, you have
I've tried
DR evasion.
No. I switch. So basically, there's a
Okay.
Capress event extraction. Yeah, I switched during those times.
You should stay on evasion for ninja anyway. It can be played with both of it. Your 2-glass cannon if you play with the DR.
Yeah, the problem with DR Ninja is probably the rangers, the range classes. They kind of wreck me a lot. But how to say, the quality. So I'm actually making montage on YouTube, right? So the quality of my montage looks better when I use DR, than when I was evasion, because it's so hard killing people in evasion in evasion gear, because suddenly everyone is so tanky when I use evasion gear.
I don't think Blue agrees though.
With the because I do more damage. I like the
Yeah.
it's a good issue. You gotta actually combo them correctly. You have to hit the buttons in the correct order. So when you're looking at your keyboard, you have to make sure that it's actually turned right side up instead of face down. But like, really, the damage on Ninja is not going to feel a crazy amount different. But like you said, you are going to get blown up by range damage regardless of what build you choose, because that's how Ninja works. Like Awakening Ninja is a little bit better than Suck Ninja because at least you have a frontal guard on your C-swap, so you can last a little.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, in extended skirmishes, you can last a little bit longer, but like Ninja in general should not ever be in a position where a ranged class is really shooting at them, because the best range class is a dead range class that you're most potent where they don't see you coming. So like if someone's shooting you, you just run out of range, go stealth, creep up on them, and then Baja blast them in a very respectful way. No defensive stats required.
I think it's just depending on their playstyle, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna plan to change to DR back once the other shoes came out, and let's see how I perform.
I've played both. I played DR on my Witch for about 5 years, and I've been evasion for about the last year and a half or so. On her, and like she's another class that can be played kind of with both. I like the evasion more personally on Awakening Witch, but that's because I'm a shot caller. I like to live. And I play with a full DP set a lot, so the evasion set's going to be better for that. But DR and evasion are interchangeable on caster.
Blue, as a shot caller, like, do you think what gear do you think works best as a shot caller?
What build works best? I mean,
Yeah.
typically, if you're in uncapped PvP, you're gonna need a DP set, like a full DP set. You are just full virgin mode. And so you put on all that DP if you need, and if you're wearing a DP set in BDO, you have to be evasion because the evasion works better with a DP set. And that's just the bottom line, because you're gonna have more evasion if you're in evasion gears. So like evasion is strictly better for shot callers, and that's why pretty much all shot callers are evasion builds.
Do you think shot callers can ever get kills?
Can they get kills? Absolutely. But theoretically, if you're doing your job correctly as a shot caller, you're not worried about kills. So most shot callers don't get kills; they get wins.
Then, like, do you think like people who actually cares about their KDA so much, like they have to have positive KDA at the end of the war? Do you think they are suitable to be shot callers?
Those people should not like. I mean, like I was
Oh
always
my God.
focused on my KDA for a long time, but I don't think that like. I mean, as you kind of get into shot calling, the more you get into it, the lower your KDA is going to drop, and eventually you just stop caring about it,
Nice.
and that's all that really matters. Like you just basically eventually you just have to let it go and be like, I don't care. Leave that for the younger kids. I'm gonna play the chess. You know what I mean?
So, like, what do you think is the meta now for NA?
Well, if you're talking about really high-end guilds, like the top 2 or 3 guilds in North America are basically all building DR with lots of accuracy. 2 to 3, sometimes 4 or 5 accuracy accessories, and just 2-shotting people. Because if you get enough accuracy, you just kill everything. So like you're seeing people in Digital and Show Nation who have like double Omni rings, and they're just blowing people away, or double Omni rings with like a Dawn earring and then 3 Debos on, and they're just blowing people to smithereens. It's not even close.
Then what about C server, Arteris and Steven? What do you think is the meta currently?
So C server is okay. So the evasion class are playing really hard evasion. The DR class are playing really hard DR, and like if you're playing a pigeon class, a range class, you're going just full AP accuracy. That's what I think.
That's the meta. Like, what
Yeah.
what kind of gear do you think everyone would just go for now?
Like I say, right? If you're playing a very hard trade class like Musa, sometime even Ninja, sometime even like Mystic Striker, you play like really high evasion and you go for the trades. If you're playing a shield class, Warrior, Valkyrie, Nova, not a lot of Nova, but yeah. You try to get as much DR as possible, and of course as much AP and accuracy as well. But I see majority of the shield classes, they mainly run a lot of DR instead of like a lot of accuracy and AP just to survive the trade, because they are melee classes. And then for the pigeons, they just stand at the top of the roof and just go pure AP accuracy and just burst everyone.
Are you calling them pigeons?
Yeah, we call them pigeon in CA. I don't know why.
Because they're always on the rooftop.
Because they just sit on the roof and shit on people, and they have low intelligence. I can't like that. I kind of like that. We're gonna pick that up. This is right now.
they are like the rats, but they are sky rats, because you always look up and you see them. Either it doesn't matter in Node War, Siege, or RBF. When you look up, you see them.
It was just so accurate once I put it together in my head. Again, it's just a low IQ animal sitting on a rooftop. Oh my god! Shielding.
Nobody likes them, but you want them on your side.
Yes.
True.
Yes. True.
Steven, do you agree with Arteris? And not on the pigeons, but like on the meta.
Yeah. Basically in CA, people who have people in high end gear, they are like playing heavy defensive setup. That's why I'm leaning towards DR right now. I mean, I myself, because DR has glass cannon potential,
Hmm.
to kill these people in one combo. Like recently, when I PvP with those guys, how to say, in 3 minutes I can just only kill one. I mean, one of us is dead in like 3 minutes. Like that's too long. Like we're comboing each other at no end,
But like
unless we
usually,
have our e-buffs on.
but like usually, wouldn't people just avoid taking long fights?
Yeah, they do, but in open world PvP, sometimes I go on
Ah.
Archer, right? So it's like a 1v1 fight, and we're just like comboing each other like no end.
Hmm.
We avoid long fights in North America by just two-shotting each other. It's very simple. It's a ranged DR meta. So honestly, if you're just walking along and then all of a sudden a full bloom hits you from off screen, some archer it has never had sex in his life just shot you. You didn't even know that you were standing there, and you just die.
Do you
Good
think?
fight. 1-0.
Then do you ever think like is the meta gonna like shift?
Nah, I don't think so. I think people will enjoy more being tanky than being glass cannon because people hate loading screens basically.
It's back and forth. I think that when
Yeah.
Ator shoes come out, I think that it'll definitely be a little bit more tanky. So it'll start to favor tankier builds with like whether you're DR and you're wearing 2 pen cadre rings like on a Valkyrie or something. You're gonna feel really really strong with that. Like you've got your 2 narcs on, you've got your 2 cadres on, then maybe you've got like a Debo on or a couple Debos on. To make up a little bit of the AP loss on a Valkyrie, or you're going evasion and you've got the Tet Ator shoes on evasion. I don't know, man. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot of defensive stats, but I think that also at the same time we're gonna get Ator shoes. We're gonna have the Calpheon ball come out. Jay's gonna tell us about all these new upgrades we're gonna get, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna swing back towards this ranged meta that we see now too.
Mm-hmm.
When you say narc, I'm like, what's that? It's like I haven't heard narc in so long.
You guys don't build narc earrings in your set?
We built Narc. The high
Yeah, we
DR player built.
Yeah.
Double
yes,
hand
the high
doubles.
DR player, yeah, the warrior people or
Because
Paul
I've been an
people, like,
evasion.
they build narcs.
I've been evasion hybrid since after I rerolled to Mystic and then to Megu. So I haven't heard narc in so long. Okay, speaking of like narcs and all, do you think Offin is still what's that word? Relevant?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
well,
don't
you
know.
mean
That's
the blue?
Yeah.
it's a yikes. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think it's a great IQ test. I'm being honest. Like, if somebody applies to your guild and they say, "Here's my gear," and they have a blue Zarkon, you're like, "Oh, that's great," and then you refer them to the next dog shit T1 guild they can apply to. Awesome.
So it's like you need to have either a Zarka or a Black Star or a God Eye. Right. But do you think like a Black Star actually works in PvP?
Oh, the Black Star?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then like the
Yeah.
Black Star is the best instead.
I mean, yeah, Black Star is going to be the best. The Pen Black Star, even if you're wearing a Tet Black Star, you're going to be just fine because eventually you're going to make it a Pen Black Star, and it just shows that your IQ is higher than someone with a blue Zarka.
That's true. That's true.
There are people who says the Zarka currently is the best for PvP. Like, what do you think about that?
What is?
The Zarka, not the blue one, but the Zarka.
Oh, C20?
Yeah,
Technically,
C20.
Zarka, yeah, C20 Zarka is technically 2 species damage, I think, better or something like that than Pen Black Star. But the reason no one does it is because it's so overwhelmingly worse in PvE that no one builds it, except for like Huntler, who doesn't play the game outside of PvP. So.
Oh, actually, about that, yeah. I use C19 Zarka for PvP, but then I have I just recently tapped Pen Black Star like one tap, and then I use Pen Zarka for PvE and sorry, Pen Black Star for PvE and Pen Zarka for PvP. Like I don't sell my Zarka.
Steven, what's your gear score?
727.
So let me get this straight. You have two almost identical weapons. Okay. And instead of just taking the 80 billion silver that you could get for selling the Kafras and the Zarka together and getting like 4 more gear score, you decided, no, wait, I could have 2 more species damage in PvP if I wear the Zarka.
It's a
Hey, man,
flex.
It's all about the
Yeah.
min-max, right, Steven?
Yeah,
Right?
every extra damage matters, bro.
Yeah.
No, but
Every...
no, I agree with Blue. I fully agree with Blue. Like you shouldn't keep it. It's like the 2 extra species damage is so like you don't even need it. You might as well just sell it. Like wait for the, in my opinion, I think you should wait for the Kafras event and then
Steven.
just extract it and sell.
I got this. Steven, what ring are you wearing? What 2 rings are you wearing right now?
2 ominous. 2 pen ominous.
Oh, okay. So you're wearing 2 ominous rings. What's your necklace?
Okay, so I have 2 ominous. One
Huh?
Tet Debo necklace, Tet Debo belt, Tet Debo earring, and one pen disto. But the disto I'm gonna change later when I switch to DR. I'm gonna change to pen down.
So you're wearing Tet Debos and you have 80 billion silver floating?
Yeah.
Grab the Zarko with the Kafras, get one of the Debos to pen. Just get Cron Stones. Get 80 billion in Cron Stones and start hitting. I'm so
He's so tilted. Yeah, Blue, he's so tilted.
God, right? The dude has 80 billion. It's just sitting. It's just floating. If you were saying 60 gear score, I'd be like, all right, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but okay, I'm now my in progress for tapping my pen demo, but how to say, I cannot PO the demo. I have to grind for demo, you know.
Just grind. Grind
Uh-huh.
more.
And yeah,
Grind-
I rarely grind. I sometimes grind once a week.
oh, I've got perfect. You only grind once a week. That's great. You know what's great is you can just put orders down on Debos. and
I
get them.
do. I
Or-
do.
Or snipe outfits off the market with the 80 billion extra silver that you now have liquid on your account and have
Oh.
8 more clicks for that Debo.
The thing is, it's harder to get costumes on the central market in Asia server.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People are so.
There's no one buying the costume and selling it. So the PO is always high. So it's very, very hard for us to get corns from costumes.
All the more reason to sell the Zarka with the Kafras, and then you can buy vendor crons if you have to. You have 80 billion more silver for vendor crons. Like, it's just a win-win.
I will think about it. I will think about it.
Or
You think about it and then do it and then get back to me.
So the thing about this, what is your, when you press the, you open the statistic, right? How much AP do you have? Like the evasion, DR, percentage evasion, AP, monster AP, everything.
It's the first time I've ever seen a ninja not know his AP off the top of his head.
Well, I don't know any of my stats in the game right now, but in Gamma it says 714.
Okay, what is 2 extra species damage compared to 716? How many
That's good.
percent is that?
Yeah, that's a good pointer, Terrace. Let's crunch those numbers real quick. Let me just see this real quick. 2 over 714. Oh my God, that's actually 0.2% more damage. That's crazy. So you make an excellent point. But you know what? I was just thinking about how I would rather have 0.2% more damage than 80 billion silver. Yeah.
Hey, wait, guys. You guys are attacking me, but Annie is doing the same.
what?
Annie.
I'm a casual player, okay?
Annie's doing the same. Annie has Zarka and Black Star, bro.
What, you have a Zaka and a Black
No,
Star?
no,
as
my
well?
my black star is a pry. Please don't judge me. I'm a casual player. I know you're judging me right now.
Annie, honestly, I'm looking at this. Gear screenshot, correct?
What?
Is this gear screenshot? Did exclamation point gear in your stream? Is this correct? You have a pen Orkin rat on?
Yes, it's correct.
Oh no, she's stupid.
No. I can explain. I'm trying to get a Debo first. and then I'll see where I can go.
But Annie, you're 710 gear score. You're wearing a Pen Kaposha necklace.
Yes. Because I think like a pen devil is better than like no wait. A Kaposha to a devil upgrade is better than a Kaposha to an auguring. Yeah, that's my explanation. And I don't grind.
Okay. All right. I can fix her. It's gonna be you need, first of all, you need black stars first before you do anything.
Yes.
I wouldn't do anything until you get your double pen black star at least, and then C15 Kudum.
Yes.
At that point, you try your gloves, and then the Orkinrad, I'm going to be honest with you, all of your friends are going to make fun of you for that until you get rid of it. You should probably
Everyone's
just-
making fun of me.
It's like Blue Zarka and then the Orkinrad. Those are like the two things that we make fun of people for. Crescents are fine, the distos are fine, everything else looks okay. I would get rid of the Orkinrad and I would go double pen black star, and then you get tri gloves, and then you go for Debos.
It's okay, Annie.
Okay.
Go slowly. Do it slowly.
Wait, but
Okay.
wait,
Stop
Annie,
disappearing tomorrow.
Yes, hi.
do you actually grind with Orkinrad? No, right?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Wait, don't you have Kapushia?
Wait, is Kaposha have more AP? Hold on, let me
No,
check.
it's the same. It's just that Okinawa has more DP.
Oh my god, it's the same AP.
Yes,
It's the
that's
same
why I
AP as
went for
yours.
Okinawa instead of Kaposha.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Blue, I don't think you can save her. I don't think you fix her.
How much is, hold on, let me just peep this. Hold on, Orkinrad. Okay, so you decided at your point in gear, you said, you know what I would love to do right now? I would love to drop 20 billion silver on no fucking AP increase. That's what I want to do for my belt. I just want to drop 20 billion silver and see absolutely no increase in my ability to make money. And then you said, fuck it, I'm sold.
Okay, point taken.
And you just sent it.
Okay, point taken, point taken.
Okay, all right, okay. All right.
But I think to be fair to Annie, she's like she says, she's a casual player. She don't really take it seriously.
This is not casual gear. This is you're a little fast casual
But
gear.
it gets me the kills. It gets me the kills.
But it's important to me that you understand that it's not the Orkinrad getting you the kills.
Fair enough.
Okay, all right, we got that. Yes, all right. You said, do you think
Okay.
there's always going to be some people out there that counter your gear?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, like, if you build full accuracy, then a full DR build's going to eat you. And if you build full DR, then a full AP build is going to eat you. There's always going to be someone out there that's going to be able to kill you.
Hmm.
But that's the nature of the game, and I think it's fun.
I think for countering builds, right? I'd say as a ninja. Okay, back then as a ninja DR, I actually can kill everyone. I mean, I no matter if they have evasion or they have DR, high DR. Yeah, I don't need to be selective at killing people, but well, they can easily kill me as well. So it's like
It's like a trade-off.
double-edged sword. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys love BDO? Yes, I do love BDO.
We love
We
BDO.
love video.
We all love video.
I do love BDO. It's a game that I actually just love streaming full time, just because there's so much stuff that I can do. If I felt like if I was playing a more one-dimensional game, I would hate my life way more. But I like BDO because I can just get on and do whatever I want every day.
Is there any thoughts on the new add-on changes? Does it help DR or evasion more?
Oh yeah, I saw it on Global App. The
What are the add-on
Yeah.
changes? Enlighten us.
like they how to say they unified the effects, but the only difference is the duration. Is that correct? What I'm saying?
Yeah. They changed majority of it to tier 3s, but it really depends on how like the cooldown of your skill. That's where it's level 1, 2, 3. The higher the level, the higher the duration of the add-on is.
That probably helps evasion a lot more than it helps DR, if I'm being honest. A tier 3 add-on for evasion gives you a percentage amount of evasion, versus the DR, which gives like a flat like 15 DP.
Yeah, that is
Hmm.
correct. You can get like plus 5 evasion for like 13 seconds now, is it? Or 10? Wait, what's the longest duration again in the new addons?
I
Uh,
haven't checked
yeah,
the.
like,
I
I
think
don't know. They
it's like
changed
20
it.
plus
Oh,
I think
seconds.
20 seconds.
20 plus. I forgot the exact number. You have to check.
Wow, that's
wow.
insane.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a long time. I like that they're doing that though. It makes it easier to proc things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Changes how you think about your add-ons a little bit.
There is a. I don't know if this is a serious question or not. Who do you think will win? If North America and Asia were in like a not war competition, or yeah, who do you think will win?
Hey man,
Oh, serious
You
question.
know what?
I thought it was a joke. Yeah, why don't you guys answer and then I'll answer.
we are gonna enhance our we are gonna grow our alchemy stone and defeat you guys. 100%.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. You act like we don't already all have our alchemy stones in hands. We wouldn't even have to click the button. It's
depending
NA,
on the depending on the server location, we'll see who win. You know.
It doesn't matter. We are the like. It doesn't matter. Both of us, in fairness, our two servers are the best at dealing with lag. So
Mm.
it's probably not going to matter where the servers are necessarily. I will say that
True.
I've reviewed a lot of SCA VODs from a lot of different SCA guilds, and I've reviewed a lot of NA VODs. And North America's understanding of the game, at like in terms of like the highest level, if you took our what was it, the top 4 guilds. So you're going to take Show Nation, Digital, Corrupt, and Crawling Chaos into Asia's top 4 guilds. I think at least our top 3 beat 3 of the 4. And if not, I think Crawling probably also wins, but it might be a little closer. I mean, Briggs ran into the wrong fort last week on Siege, but like, not that Briggs is necessarily, it's not that Paralyzed is not a top tier Asia guild, but also I do feel like that NA kind of understands the game a little bit more in depth. Asia is definitely closer. I think that Asia probably beats Korea, as like they didn't actually fight in the crossplay, but Asia like basically won both of its matchups, right? So like you could feasibly say that they could beat Korea, they're going to beat Taiwan, they're going to beat. I think that they probably beat Russia. Probably the SCA like Asia probably beats Russia. But I think EU probably beats Asia, and I think NA probably beats E EU.
In the last Conquest competition championship war, NA and EU, they were fighting each other, right? So which one won again?
No, they never fought.
Oh, they never fought.
each
Yeah,
other.
I don't think it's possible. So because of the
The
distance
ping,
that the server, yeah.
It was EU and Russia.
EU and Russia, then NA and
And EU turboed them.
huh?
EU turboed Russia
I
in that
see.
match.
I mean, there's no final conclusion because of what happened, and then they cancelled
Correct.
the last round.
Correct. But
But
it was so
yeah,
convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just so convincing. And the way that Russia beat them in the 2v2, it was like the number 2 and number 3 guilds fought each other in a 2v2, and Russia technically won that, but they were on defense the whole time and won by CTG play.
Oh, I
Like there's
see.
just like a quick CTG play. So like I'll be honest with you, if that fight goes to its conclusion without a CTG, EU wins that fight too. So like, yeah.
This is a bit out of topic. So Blue, you say you reviewed like guild bots from Asia. So which one do you think like Asia has like the capability to like win in terms of objectives and not kills?
I think they have good cannon teams. Based on what I saw, I watched all of the crossplay stuff, and I got sent a lot of VODs from the Asia crossplay stuff. From I think each of the Asia guilds sent me at least one VOD. I had 2 VODs from most of the fights, and I watched most all of them. I was very impressed by their cannon team, and their coordination between guilds, and like how they were able to flip pressure. So like I think their understanding of the game is quite good. It's definitely better than KR. It's definitely better than Taiwan, and I think it's probably better than Russia's too. From what I've seen from the Russian, I only have limited Russian server experience, but like from what I saw from the crossplay with Russia, it didn't look like their understanding of the game was quite as good as Asia's was. I thought I was actually quite impressed with their play during the tournament. I was like, okay, I get like the way they flip pressure right at the end was really nice.
Then do you guys think like PA should buff the annexes in Node War or Siege?
I think that they need to do something about fort health because it dies too fast. I think that the forts in Node Wars, particularly in Siege, not so much. But in Node Wars, I think that the Node War forts die way too quickly. And like their solution, I don't think they really know. If you want my honest opinion, I think that they know that fort health is a problem and they don't know what the hell to do about it. Because the last times they've tried to fix these problems, they've just doubled or they've tripled the fort health. That's all they know how to do. Because I don't think they know how to keep like your actual APDP. In a cap node war, your actual APDP should not be affecting like the fort health or like how much damage you're doing to the fort. Misty Haze should also not be necessarily affecting the fort health as well, or like being able to debuff the stick should also not be a thing. I don't think they really know how to fix it though, because right now it does look like the fort is being debuffed. It looks like the fort is taking full damage from like your gear, like, and I don't think they know how to fix it.
And they are buffing all of the class as well. If I'm not wrong, fort is not considered a player; it's more like a mob.
Yeah.
So if the upcoming buff is gonna be worse.
Yep, that's what I'm concerned about. My primary concern with the upcoming PvE buffs is that they're going to buff every class in PvE, and then forts are just going to vaporize because they're not going to know how to fix the fort health.
Okay, in my opinion, I think they should change the game mode for Node War. Like, how to say? The currently our Node War is like very hard to access for newer guilds. So I think they should just, how to say, like the RBF mode in Valencia. That's kind of, how to say, simple.
But they are like
that could work like as a Node War. Like technically, it could work as a Node War, like without annexes and stuff. And the fight would be longer, maybe, instead of just rushing the fort right now.
So what are you proposing?
Like the simplified Node War, like without annexes and stuff, you know, and fort. So basically,
You want an RBF?
Yes, but how to say, like maybe different kind, like in.
Okay, all right. Well, so you want an RBF where maybe you just cap objectives instead of killing annexes.
Yes.
Okay, go to Valencia RBF.
No, but as a team, you know, like as a guild.
I think there's a game mode that's coming out that's something like that. It's called War. Right?
Yeah, but that happens only on like one day, right?
One day every 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, what if instead of getting your guild together to fight other guilds in like this haphazard RBF fashion, what if we got our guild together and then fought mobs? Large scale PvE. Okay, where you could coordinate with other guilds too, and the mobs you had to like take capture points and like you're all playing against mobs and stuff, and you have to take objectives and coordinate with other guilds, and they're actually difficult to do because the mobs are always on you, and you're like constantly trying to coordinate and stuff. And then the mobs could have different effects each week. They could add mutations and stuff. Like I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think it would decrease toxicity across the board because, like, you know, you have guilds coordinating with each other toward a common goal, trying to get objectives instead of guilds fighting each other. Now, some people like the shit talk and the chat PvP and stuff, but like, I could do without it.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
That's good. Yeah. What do you guys think about the invul CTG?
What?
Invulnerable CTG. Yeah.
Invulnerability
Yes.
CTG. To explain this to Steven, even though Steven, you already know what this is for sure, but I'm going to explain it so that the other people know. Is when you die, Normally when you take a CTG, which is command together, you teleport to your guild master's location. The whole guild teleports typically at the same time. Okay.
Oh, you mean
Um,
about when you take your weapons out? Is that what you mean?
No. So normally when you take a CTG, you are immediately hittable whether your weapon is out or not. That was a change put into the game about 2 years ago. When you take a CTG, you're hittable immediately when you take the CTG. However, guilds have found a way around this in that when you die, so what the guild master will do is pop the CTG and then let everybody die. And then everybody spawns up at the same time. And when you spawn in BDO, you have 16 seconds or so of invulnerability if you don't take your weapon out. So what you do is you stand up, you immediately take the CTG, and then when you spawn in with the CTG, you still have your spawn immunity from when you spawned, and you have about 10 seconds to just do whatever you want, even with your weapon out. And you just wreak havoc on the enemy fort. So what guilds are doing is, we call it invulnerability CTG or invuln CTG, where people are just dying, waiting, standing up, immediately taking the CTG, and then just turboing the fort. It's not an intended mechanic, and they have not fixed it yet.
Well,
I hate it.
that is news to me. I mean, I've never known that before.
I think it's news to a lot of us as well.
Do you see? This is like the knowledge of the game. Knowledge of the game. Like this is like little stuff that you can do like this. Now I know the top end of SEA definitely knows. The top end of Asia definitely knows how to invuln CTG because I saw them do it during the tournament, or during the crossplay event. But like, yeah, invulnerability CTG has been around for a while now, and it's used in higher end PvP to basically just one pump enemy guilds. And so like, they need to remove it from the game for sure. It needs to get removed. I'm almost positive that the CMs have probably brought it up to the developers by now. Sadly, nothing has been done about it, which means either one, they don't care enough to fix it, or two, they don't know how to fix it.
But like, instead of like removing it completely, why not just decrease the duration of the invulnerability?
Because then you're nerfing invulnerability spawns for just normal spawning. Because then when you invulnerability spawn is there so that you can defend your base a little bit more aptly, so that people don't just stand on top of your fort. Picture 100 people standing on top of your fort and not leaving and just spamming skills. If your invulnerability is only like 3 or 4 seconds, they can just do that. They don't ever have to back up. The fight ends immediately. They just dogpile the fort and everybody just dies when they spawn.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you need that invulnerability to be able to defend your fort.
Okay. Steven and Arthur, what do you think about this?
Well, that sounds unfixable. I don't know.
Well, it's just they remove invulnerability. They have to remove spawn invulnerability if you take a CTG. So when you click the CTG, they have to remove invulnerability from you. And I guarantee what they forgot to do is they didn't even think. They were like, oh yeah, nobody will take it after they spawn. It'll be fine. But well, with the PvP scene in North America, it's can we exploit it and how? So we have figured it out. And I think it's actually a relatively easy fix, but like, who knows? It'll depend on the code.
I think everything is fixable 100%. It's just whether if they care or not. Which leads to more of the Korean scene, because I think, like, I don't exactly know how like their developers get their notice on what to fix and like which region is prioritized, but I think if the Koreans don't really care about it, I don't think they will ever fix it, in my opinion. And the thing is, the Korean scene in the Node War and Siege, I don't really have any idea how is it going on. From what the last I heard is they don't really care about Siege and Node War. They only care about like open world PvP. But I'm not sure. This is just like 1 year ago information.
But like, if they really care about open world PvP, then why did they make like guild decks? You need to like, it cannot be one-sided anymore.
Oh, that's what I mean by it's like 1 year ago, because like way back then there isn't a lot of like newer players joining, but recently because of the Lost Ark 3 bozos, because of that happening, a lot of people have started to come over, and that's why they are making a lot of these drastic changes, because like this war declaration and the whole money realm is all like really haphazard. Like they just added it in without any like notice. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I'm
Mm.
curious how you guys feel about the one-sided deck changes. Do you agree with the one-sided deck changes or not?
I like it.
Really? It sounded like you didn't like it very much.
I
No, it's because I see a lot of guilds dying because of the one-sided declaration. Last time there used to be a I wouldn't say very strong siege guild. I'm talking about Requiem back then in the 2022 for the C players. Or was it 2021? I
I
think it's
think it's
2021.
2021.
Yeah. So what happened is they don't exactly do open world PvP. They only focus on like Node War and Siege, and they are relatively good at it, and they were becoming stronger. But because of the one-sided deck, especially Southeast Asia having so little servers, it's so easy to just grief that
too
guild if you really want
practical.
to. Yeah. So literally their guild just died off because of the one-sided deck, and I know this is not just this guild. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other guilds that disbanded because of the whole toxicity of the community.
Yeah, so I think in NA we've definitely seen a decline in the North American PvP scene for sure. No question, just like SEA has. I would assume that that's pretty universal across all the servers, and I think that it kind of speaks to the idea that the one-sided deck changes were necessary. That should have happened forever ago. However, instead of one-sided deck changes, they should have just removed open world PvP altogether and given us a different system altogether that everyone could be happy with. For example, I've suggested this many times, like the New World system, where just remove flagging from the game, like open world flagging from the game, remove one-sided deck changes from the game, remove karma from the game entirely. And then before you leave town, you have to decide whether or not you're going to flag for PvP. And if you flag for PvP, you get 50% drop rate that goes over the cap. You can have 50% drop rate if you flag for PvP before you leave a town. Okay. And you cannot unflag until you come back to the town. But if you do not flag, you can't be PvP'd unless there's a war deck. And that's just how it works. So it gives people incentive to PvP. It also decreases like the harassment stuff that we constantly deal with. I think that them removing one-sided deck changes without actually fixing the system as a whole, because let's be honest, open world PvP sucks. As much as anybody that likes open world PvP likes zerging people. Okay, it's because it's one zerg or another, right? Either you're getting zerged or you are doing the zerging. No one likes this. It's not fun. It's not a good time. Like the whole system needs to be scrapped and changed from the ground up because it just doesn't work. It allows for too much harassment. It allows for not enough. Now there's not enough open world PvP, and I think just the whole system just needs to be just scrapped and redone. It's super outdated.
Mm,
No, that actually sounds good.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. I think we reached the end. Yeah. Thank you guys for agreeing to this podcast. Although like we kind of like spoke out of topic, but yeah.
Oh, that's the whole point of a podcast is to let the conversation flow. So, I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Annie, for inviting me.
Okay,
to this podcast.
Be on, Annie. This is my first time talking to Annie. This is good. I like this. This is fun. Good to meet you, Steven. Good to meet you, Arteris. Arteris, you did a great job, like I said, of shoutcasting the crossplay event.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And of course, thank you for joining our podcast over here in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, guys, do drop Blue Squadron Arteris and Steven a follow. And yeah, thank you for watching. Yeah, thank you.